This is the transition news on Atlantic Television Network. Unknown gunmen suspected to be sea pirates have abducted no fewer than 10 travelers along the Bonny-Port Harcourt waterway. Though the details are still sketchy, ATN gathered that the incident, which occurred in the early hours of Monday morning, is believed to involve 10 persons traveling between Bonny and Port Harcourt. Newsman, District Chairman, Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria, River State District, Israel Peppo, said it's not a rumor, it is real. 10 persons have been kidnapped this morning coming from Bonny to Port Harcourt. We've reported to the security agencies, and when contacted, the police public relations officer told newsmen that they were aware that 10 persons have been kidnapped, but that the Commissioner of Police, Olatunji Desu, had mandated the Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of operations, DCP Olubenga Adepoju, and the DPOs in that area to make sure that the victims regain freedom as soon as possible. All Progressive Congress in River State, led by Tony Okocha, has updated the general public on the state of the party in River State amid some allegations made by Tonye Cole. There is more to this report.
Sir Tony Okocha, the APC CTC chairman in River State, has responded to a statement credited to the governorship candidate of the All Progressive Congress at the 2023 Guba election in River State, Tony Cole, when he said Okocha-led APC is working for the FCT minister Nyeso Wike. Mr. Tony Okocha, while reacting to the allegation, described Tony Cole as a total stranger in the politics of River State and therefore lacks the locus to speak about the All Progressive Congress in such manner. Okocha recall when APC in River State started in 2014 when he was the chief of staff under Rotimi Amechi and also chairman of the subcommittee for mobilization of the party, adding that he played critical role in the formation of APC in River State. The APC CTC chairman Tony Okocha said the reason he is fraternizing with the FCT minister is because Wike was a major player that helped APC in River State win election for President Bola Tinubu in the 2023 presidential election and also a minister working under President Tinubu's administration. He also recalled that Tony Cole, as the then APC Guba candidate, never campaigned for President Tinubu. Okocha therefore stated that as a co-founder and CTC chairman of APC in River State, he has every power and audacity to speak for the party.
Have you heard that the candidate of APC in River State organized a meeting or attempted to see how he can bring everybody together, even when we have said and over again that APC before we picked up was a social club and not a political party. So for him, a stranger in politics, to take to the media to say that I have no rights, I have no power to speak for APC. According to him, the only reason he had used was because I am a member of Wike's family. Why wouldn't I fraternize with Wike? All this, think of it. It's the man who made us largely to win election and break an age-long jinx.
The APC Caretaker Committee chairman further reminded the public that the planned local government election in River State by RISEC is an effort in futility, since the suit stopping INEC, police and the DSS from participating in the election is still in court. Concerning the party structure in River State, Okocha emphasized that APC under his watch is intact, both from the ward level to the local government level and the state level.
I would wish to share this local government amendment law number 4 of 2024. Now, particularly on the issue as contained in section 9.3 of the principal law, a new local government election shall hold before the expiration of 3 years tenure of the outgoing local government administration, which began from the date of their swearing in. I didn't write it. It's signed here. It's a law. That 3 months before the expiration of the incumbent, the ones who are already in the council, that what should happen? That there should be local government election. The election should have been somewhere in May. Did it hold? Does it conform with this law?
On his part, Secretary of the APC-CTC in Rivers State, Eric Mwebani, urged party faithful to disregard comments and activities of Emeka Beke and Tonyeko, assuring confidence and justice from the judiciary. He said the APC is happy and has no regret in associating with the FCT minister, Nyeso Wike.
The members of our party, the APC in Rivers State, should completely discountenance both Emeka Beke and all those who are gallivanting with them are doing. We have confidence in the judiciary and will get justice. No regret whatsoever, like he said, to associate with the Honorable Minister of the FCT.
Ajoron was Samuel, ATM News, Port Harcourt.
The Sir of the Rivers State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Martin Chike Amehule, has charged the newly elected executive of the People's Democratic Party in the state to be committed to the ideals of the party. Right Honorable Amehule, in a congratulatory message to the newly elected chairman, Honorable Chukwemeka Aaron, and other members of the state party ESCOs, said that their emergence as the new executive of the PDP is testament to their dedication, hard work, and pedigree in party politics. The speaker expressed confidence that Honorable Chukwemeka Aaron and his executive will bring fresh ideas, energy, and direction to the ruling PDP in Rivers State. He said this marks a new chapter in their party's journey and that he is confident that the new executive will build on the successes of the past while introducing fresh ideas to drive the party forward. He also congratulated the leader of the party, the FCT minister, His Excellency Nyesom Wike, for the peaceful, exciting and democratic exercise, stressing that Rivers State remains a stronghold of the PDP. Moving on, operatives of the Akwa Ibom State Police Command have apprehended 2 individuals, Fezie Chuku Okolie and Udeme Daniel, on charges of drug trafficking. Tim Fon John, the public relations officer for the command, released a statement detailing the arrests, and John reported that the suspects were detained following a raid on their residence in the Ring Road 3 area of Uyo. During the operation, law enforcement officers recovered a variety of ammunition from the suspects. Tim Fon provided further details that the operation took place on August 31st, 2024, when officers searched the suspect's residence in Ring Road 3. Among the items seized were a nitro-air rifle with a detachable telescope, a Seed Sour American pistol, a Powerline Japanese pistol, and a Phantom American pistol. Additional items recovered included a black bag containing 2 pistol magazines with 10 rounds of live 9mm ammunition, 1 black pistol casing, 2 pairs of leather gloves, and 3 wraps of what is suspected to be cannabis sativa. Team Fon emphasized that the suspects are currently in custody and undergoing a thorough investigation. She assured the public of the command's dedication to eliminating crime in the state and encouraged residents to provide reliable information to aid in the fight against criminal activities. Operatives of the Edo State Police Command have arrested a 19-year-old Timothy Dauda for allegedly shooting one Alex to death. ATN reports that the incident happened at Onumu community in Akoko Edo local government area of the state. Moses Joel Nyamu, the police public relations officer, who disclosed this in a statement made available to newsmen in Benin City, said that the suspect was arrested by personnel of the Igara division. Yamu said that the suspect was a self-acclaimed native doctor who specializes in preparing charms against guns and cutlasses. He noted that the suspect, after preparing the charms for one Alex Ezekiel, tried to test the efficacy of the charms by shooting his client. According to him, one Alex Ezekiel, now deceased, went to the doctor to get charms prepared for him. And the police spokesman added that the suspects will face prosecution as soon as investigation is concluded. Analysts have stated that the recent South-South Youth Peace Dialogue is a move in the right direction. Speaking on Atlantic Television Network's program, Atlantic Blowout, a political analyst, Ekie, maintained that the peace initiatives will as well foster synergy and an avenue for collaboration between the states and the federal government. Let's listen to him.
Development for a good collaboration between the state government and the federal government, unlike most states where, because it's not an APC state, it looks as if having federal government programs and projects is being drawn in a party line and seems not to drive the real intention of the federal government. So I'd like to comment.
Ekie commended the Akwa Ibom state government for accommodating across party lines for the benefit of the youths.
The executive governor of Akwa Ibom state for his large heart in accommodating a federal program, and encourage that other state governors should follow such kind gesture for the development.
This is coming as Dr. Jamila Bio Ibrahim, the Honorable Minister of Youth Development, has praised the youth and leaders of the South-South region for their dedication to peace, dialogue and constructive engagement with the government, and described the youth as an exemplary in driving the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. Operatives of the Uyo Zonal Directorate of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission have arrested 48 suspected internet fraudsters in Umudike, Abia State. This was disclosed in a post via the Commission's official X handle on Tuesday, and according to the Commission, the suspects were arrested at different locations within Umudike following actionable intelligence on their suspected involvement in internet fraud. They recovered items such as 12 exotic cars, 15 different brands of laptops, and 68 expensive smartphones. The Commission revealed that the suspects will be charged to court as soon as investigations are concluded. Governor of Enugu State, Dr. Peter Mba, commissioned 4 newly constructed and reconstructed roads in Abapa Nike in Enugu metropolis, among them the Mike Ejaga Crescent, where the music legend lives, and the adjoining popular Obinago Road, which he renamed after him. Other roads commissioned were the Texaco bus stop, Ifo Road, and the Mpo Street Mba, which also used the occasion to visit Ejaga at his residence, announced that the government would henceforth take full responsibility for his upkeep, describing him as a living legend. Mba, however, stressed the commissioned roads here were only the beginning of a new era for road infrastructure across Enugu State. Earlier in their remarks, the Commissioner for Works and Infrastructure, Engineer Gerald Otiji, and the special advisor to the governor on project development and implementation assured the governor and residents that the roads were constructed with durability and convenience of road users in mind. Meanwhile, receiving the governor at his residence, Ejiaga, who spoke through his son Emma Ejiaga and daughter Elizabeth Ugu Ni Ejiaga, said that Mba had honored him beyond his lifetime. Ile-Ife Magistrate Court in Osun has remanded driver Lasisi Sodiq in a correctional facility for allegedly causing the death of one of Bafemi Awolowo University students. Sodiq, 28 years of age, was charged with driving against traffic law, reckless driving, driving without license, manslaughter, and driving without certificate of insurance. The prosecutor, ASP Akintunde Jacob, told the court that the defendant committed the offenses on August the 22nd at 10:30 a.m. opposite the OAU main campus under pedestrian bridge Ife, Ibadan Road and Ile-Ife. Jacob said that the defendant drove a Lexus car on a public highway without adherence to traffic laws. He added that the defendant drove recklessly and caused the death of late Esu Emma, a student of OAU Ile-Ife. Jacob also said that the defendant drove dangerously and without certificate of insurance. The prosecutor said that the offenses contravened Section 18, Cap 145, Cap 146, Volume 2, Laws of Osun, and Section 7 of the Road Traffic Law, Volume 6, Cap 115, Laws of Osun, 2002. He said that the offenses also contravened Sections 139 and 142 of the Road Traffic Act, Cap 548, Laws of Nigeria 2015. The defendant, however, pleaded not guilty in a bench ruling. The magistrate, Abosede Sarumi, ordered that the defendant be remanded at the correctional center pending bail applications, and she also ordered the defense counsel, Leke Dada, to file a formal application for his client's bail. Sarumi adjourned the case until August the 2nd for mention. Oyo State government has charged the 33 local government supervisory councillors and special assistants with seeing their appointments as a call to serve assiduously with transparency, integrity, credibility, and commitment. Speaking at an induction ceremony, at an induction workshop for the appointees in Ibadan, Oyo State, Seyi Makinde urged them to be committed to the present administration's bid to sustain quality service delivery and extend democracy's dividends to the people. Represented by the Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Matters, Ademola Ojo, Makinde implored them to be agents of change. He urged them to strive to be the best while discharging their duties, giving room for developmental strides in all sectors. The governor said that he was delighted that Oyo State had witnessed tremendous progress, which was a testimony to the governor's sterling qualities and has made the state a front runner in progress, peace, and tranquility. He charged the appointees to see their appointments as a call to serve assiduously with undiluted integrity, credibility, as well as commitment in tandem with this present administration's bid to sustain quality service delivery and extend dividends of democracy to the grassroots. According to the governor, the workshop aims to keep the participants abreast of the current modern trends in local government administration. He admonished the participants to use the training modules, which have been meticulously designed to boost their understanding of governance. Federal government has handed over 20 compressed natural gas buses to the Oyo State government. The Chief Executive Officer and Program Director of the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative, Michael Oluwagbemi, conducted the handover on behalf of the federal government at the Pacesetter Transport Service, Eleyele, in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. Oluwagbemi stated that the deployment of CNG buses in Nigeria aims to address issues related to petrol importation and other challenges affecting Nigeria. He said that Ibadan, for generations, has always been attractive since its founding. It's a place where commerce thrives and states of secret billionaires receiving the CNG buses on behalf of the state government, the chairman and the sole administrator of PTS, Salami Duke, thanked the federal government and President Tinubu for the initiative. He noted that when he assumed office, he announced he encountered only 5 operational buses, a number that has now increased to 81. Diko stressed that CNG is the best solution to the state's transportation issues, as Governor Seyi Makinde supports the project to mitigate the effects of fuel subsidy removal. He called on the PHCD to provide an additional 100 CNG buses to cover more routes within the state. In his goodwill message, the special assistant to the governor, Makinde, on environment, Ademola Aderinto, highlighted that CNG is a more economical energy source. 18-year-old Habibat Akinsonya, who had been reported missing, was discovered dead on her father's farm in Obasa, Mile 6, along Ajebo Road in Abeokuta, the capital of Ogun State. ATN learned on Monday that the victim was discovered dead on Sunday, bearing multiple machete cuts to her head and other parts of her body, with her hands bound behind her back. According to reliable police sources, the victim was sexually assaulted before being murdered. As our correspondent was informed, the police source, who wished to remain anonymous due to not having the authority to speak on behalf of the state command, informed our correspondent that the brutal murder could be linked to a revenge attack on the family. Onyeka, who the police have identified as a primary suspect in the murder and who typically worked for the father, allegedly told the deceased that her mother needed her at the farm to help with cassava harvest. ATN suspected. ATN, however, learned that the family grew suspicious of foul play when the deceased sister could not find her at either the shop or home. And this led to the father to report the situation to the Kempta Police Division. Ogun State Police Command has launched a manhunt for the killers of a 19-year-old secondary school student in the state. Habiba Akinsonya, who was kidnapped on Friday and subsequently killed by her abductors in the early hours of Sunday. The police also clarified that the father of the slain girl, Mr. Kinsonya Aremu, only paid 30,000 naira to the abductors of his kidnappers, of his daughter, and not 1 million naira as initially said. The police said a resident of the community said that they saw the late Habiba while entering the farm with one of the farm workers working for the victim's father, where her corpse was eventually found. an officer with the Ogun State government-owned security outfit, So Safe Corps, was said to have paid the money into a money point account provided by the kidnappers so as not to facilitate the tracking and arrest of those behind the kidnapping of her daughters. The divisional police officer of the Kempta Division, Abeokuta CSP Olawale Famobuwa, disclosed this after being granted approval by the State Commissioner of Police, Abiodun Alamutu, to speak on the sad incidents. Famobuwa said that the father of the deceased reported to the police station on Friday at about 9:30 p.m. that her daughter, Abiba, who was helping her sister with the point-of-sale business, has not been found. Famobuwa regretted that it was painful that the father of the deceased, a senior officer in the Soul Safe security agencies established by the state government, could have the vital information volunteered by the residents of the community, yet he refused to release such to the police. He said that the farm workers, who is said to have been on their heels, is a prime suspect, but that the police will do everything possible under the law to make all the assailants involved in the criminal acts to pay for their misdeeds. Nasarawa State House of Assembly has confirmed the appointment of Umaru Muhammad as the Director General of the State's Bureau of Public Procurement, BPP. The confirmation was announced by Speaker Danladi Jatau after Muhammad appeared before the House for screening on Monday in Lafia. Following the successful screening, Jatau directed the clerk of the House to maintain the House's resolution to Governor Abdullahi Sule for further necessary action. Free upload. Fire erupted at the Katsina State Government House on Monday morning, consuming the esteemed Red Chamber, a key component of the governor's office where important meetings with the distinguished guests and stakeholders are frequently held. During the blaze, heroic efforts by firefighting team were underway to control the flames and mitigate further damage. Although the exact cause of the fire remains undetermined, authorities are diligently investigating to uncover the source and assess the damage done by the facility. Nasarawa State Governor Abdullahi Sule is calling for the intervention of the national chairman of the All Progressive Congress, APC, Abdullahi Ganduje, towards resolving the lingering crisis engulfing the party in Benue State. Governor Sule, who is the chairman of the North Central Governors Forum, made this appeal when he visited the National Secretariat of the party in Abuja. Governor Sule expressed his conviction that Ganduje, a former deputy governor and former governor, has the pedigree to resolve the Benue State APC impasse. Sule said that he was also a national secretariat at the national secretariat of the party to pay respects to the national chairman, who he said deserves respect and cooperation, especially as the APC gears towards participating in scheduled governorship elections in Edo State. Governor Sule used the opportunity of the visit to call on the APC colleagues and governors to endeavor to pay regular visits to the national secretariat of the party in order not to be seen as visitors in a house they all worked hard to build. In his response, the APC national chairman, Ganduje, appreciated Nosule for the visit, especially that there were controversies in the party in Benue State. Ganduje said that he wanted the APC to be a strong institution and would back the ruling government, as well as an institution that would ensure internal democracy. He, however, warned that with him in charge, at the helm of affairs of the party, it was no longer business as usual. Makurdi High Court on Monday heard a motion filed by counsel to the All Progressive Congress, Matthew Borfa, who appeared with Dangana and other lawyers. ATN recalled that the court had on the 28th of August 2024 extended the lifespan of the interim order by 7 days. When the case came up on Monday, counsel for APC, Borka, senior advocate of Nigeria, filed and served many processes on MT Ayebo Esquire, who appeared with E.E. Igbihioho for Agada and other aspirants. Despite the service of further affidavit on MT Ayebo in court, he agreed to take the motion for setting aside the restraining order. The main ground of the motion is that the originating motion was not signed and that the interim injunction cannot stand in an unsigned guaranteeing motion. MT Ayebo, who appeared for the Benue State APC chairman Agada, told the court that the originating motion was properly signed by the SOS Napoleon Esquire. He referred to the court to its copy of originating motion, submitting that it is the judge's copy of the motion that will determine whether the process was signed or not, adding that once the copy is signed, all other copies remained unsigned and cannot change the situation. Ayebo submitted that assuming without conceding that the copy of the process exhibited by the SAN was not signed, the case is valid, drawing the court's attention to the fact that even on that copy brought by the SAN, there is a mark made against the name of the SOS Napoleon, and that suffices. Justice Teresa Igboche after listening to the counsels, adjourned the matter to 10th September 2024 for ruling. KB State Governor Nasiru Idris has sworn in the newly elected 21 local government chairmen in the state. The candidates of the All Progressive were declared winners in the election held on Saturday by the State Electoral Commission. The swearing, which was held at the Presidential Lodge in Birnin KB, the state capital, was attended by government and top officials and top political office holders in the state. The state chief George Umaru Abubakar administered the oath of office to the elected chairmen, who are expected to be in charge for 3 years. Earlier in his speech, the governor tasked them to live above board by ensuring dividends of democracy at the grassroots. The governor also urged them to invest in their communities and to benefit from their reign as chairman and councillors of local governments. The state government immediately issued Hilux operational vehicles to the chairmen and their deputies. Military high commanders debunked claims of the abduction of 150 persons by terrorists in Gobir in Sokoto State. A statement signed by the Director, Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, that the incidents of mass killing and burial depicted by tenants in a trending video appeared and happened in a nearby African country and not Nigeria. General Buba, in a statement, explained that on the 29th of August 2024, at about 5 p.m., troops of Operation Hadarin Daji deployed at FOB Zurmi in Zurmi local government area of Zamfara State embarked on fighting to dislodge terror gatherings at Kwashabawa village, and during the night, while attempting to outflank the terrorists. Queryly, 2 of troops' MRAPs got bogged down due to the swampy terrain occasioned by the rains. The statement added that the troops dismounted and demobilized the MRAPs while efforts are being made to backload them were futile. The sad demobilization of the MRAPs by troops, he said, was to prevent it from being useful to the terrorists after abandonment. He, however, urged Nigerians to be circumspect of the antics of the terrorists to propagate misinformation, disinformation, and fake news as part of their war propaganda efforts. Sharia court in Kano State has ordered 2 housewives to be remanded in a correctional center for assaulting their neighbor. The police charged Saadatu Abubakar, 33 years of age, and Amina Abdul Kadir, 20 years of age, all of Madam Wari Sabon Mandawari Sabon Titi in Gwale local government area of Kano State with criminal intentions to hurt and intimidation. When the charge was read to them, they both pleaded not guilty. The judge Malam Lawal Abubakar ordered that they should be remanded in the Goron Duse Correctional Center in Kano. He adjourned the case until September the 18th for further mention. Earlier, the prosecutor, Inspector Abdullahi Wada, told the court that the complainant, Firdausi Aliyu, who also resides in Mandawari, Sabon Titi, reported the matter at the Mandawari police station on August the 28th. Wada said that the complainant had a misunderstanding with the defendant about some money. He said that the defendants attacked Aliyu with a pistol and also beat her hand, which led to serious injuries. The prosecutor said that the defense contravened provisions of Section 158 of the Penal Code. You are watching the Transition on Atlantic Television Network. We'll return shortly after this break. Do stay tuned. Welcome back to the Atlantic Television Network Transition News, and now to the rest of our stories. Federal government has arraigned 10 end bad governance protesters who had been arrested in Abuja, Kano and Gombe before a federal high court in Abuja. The defendants, who were charged with treasonable felony, which carries the death penalty, and accusations of a plan to destabilize Nigeria, were brought to the court amidst tight security. The defendants, while taking their pleas before the presiding judge, Justice Emeka Nwite, pleaded not guilty to the 6 counts filed against them. The arrested protesters had faulted the court's order that permitted their arrest and detention, telling President Bola Tinubu that he had no right to arrest them. The protesters, in a suit, challenged the August 22, 2024 Federal High Court order issued by Justice Emeka Nwite that permitted the Inspector General of Police to remand them for 60 days pending the conclusion of the investigation on their case. The protesters, in an affidavit deposed to by one Paul Ochayi, maintained that protest is a right, and in fact the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu, had led protests in the past without being harassed, detained or remanded. They contended that the motion ex parte constitutes a gross abuse of the court process, and asking the court to set aside, discharge and or vacate the ex parte order that approved their remand in prison for 60 days. The Federal Ministry of Solid Minerals Development has taken decisive action against illegal mining in Kogi and Ondo states, prosecuting several suspects as part of its ongoing efforts to reform the mining sector. The Special Assistant on Media to the Minister, Segun Tomori, disclosed this in a statement. According to the statement, during a operation codenamed Operation Hayakin Kogo, conducted by the mining marshals in the Ika community of Ampa local government area, Kogi State, 2 Chinese nationals and a Nigerian were arrested for engaging in mining activities without proper authorization. The operation is part of a broader initiative to enforce existing mining regulations. In a related development, the mining marshals also raided an illegal gold mining site in the Ogunlepa Odibo Oluwa Forest Reserve, Odibo local government area of Ondo State, where 4 suspects were arrested. The Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dele Alake, emphasized that the government's commitment to sanitizing the mining sector, stating that the 2,570-strong mining marshals drawn from Nigeria's security and civil defense corps are a key component of his 7-point agenda aimed at reforming the sector. Alake reaffirmed the government's dedication to eliminating illegal mining through enhanced operations of the mining marshals, including the use of technology and the upcoming implementation of the satellite monitoring of mining sites. He urged those still involved in illegal activities to turn a new leaf and comply with the relevant sections of the Nigerian Minerals and Mining Act to regularize their operations, warning that the federal government's resolve to enforce the law is unwavering. Federal Republic of Nigeria has underscored its commitment to deepening ties with Indonesia, highlighting the untapped economic potential and promising avenues for collaboration. This was affirmed during the 2nd Indonesia-Africa Forum, held from September the 1st to 3rd in 2024 in Bali, Indonesia. Representing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Nigeria's Minister of Information and National Orientation, Muhammad Idris, led the Nigerian delegation to the high-level multi-stakeholder partnership and the Joint Leaders section. The minister reiterated Nigeria's dedication to fostering a stronger partnership with Indonesia emphasizing that both regions stand to gain significantly from enhanced operations in trade, investments, and the exchange of knowledge and expertise. The forum highlighted the significant economic and demographic potential of Africa and Indonesia, which together represents over 1.7 billion people and combined GDP of 44.4 trillion US dollars. The event brought together the heads of states, government officials, business leaders, and stakeholders from across regions to discuss economic cooperation, address global challenges, and explore avenues for mutual sustainable growth and development. Nigeria's leadership in advancing the African Union's Agenda 2063 was also a focal point during the discussions. The minister emphasized President Tinubu's comprehensive agenda for economic reforms, security, governance, and social development at the national level, as well as his efforts to enhance regional trade, infrastructure, and political stability through his leadership in the economic community of West African states. Nigeria's active participation in African Continental Free Trade Area was noted as a key driver for boosting intra-African trade and industrialization. Nigeria Police Force on Monday declared a British national, Andrew Wine, also known as Andrew Povich, and a Nigerian, Lucky Obion, wanted for allegedly plotting to overthrow the democratically elected government in the country. The police accused the British national of building a network of sleeper cells to topple this government and plunge the nation into chaos. Addressing journalists in Abuja, the force spokesperson Muyiwa Adejobi said Wine rented a space at the Labour House and established a school to serve as a decoy. He said that the Nigerian Police Force has launched a comprehensive investigation into activities of foreign nationals and subversive elements plotting to undermine the democratically elected government in Nigeria through unconstitutional regime change and orchestrating violence across the country. And Adejobi also said that the documentary evidence and confessions revealed that Wine provided finance and operational guidance to allegedly topple an elected government in the country. Adejobi said that Wine and his local coordinator, Obion, had fled the country. Amnesty International has condemned the planned mass trial of hundreds of protesters arrested during the nationwide End Bad Governance protests and held between August the 1st to 10th, 2024. In a statement issued on Monday, the country director of Amnesty International Nigeria, Isa Sanusi, criticized the Nigerian government's handling of the situation, labeling the trials as a blatant attempt to punish dissent and stifle critical voices. Sanusi further highlighted the severity of the charges being brought against the protesters, including treason, which carries the death penalty, and accusations of a plan to destabilize Nigeria. He described these challenges as blatantly trumped up and also demanded their immediate withdrawal, and Amnesty International faulted the nature of the trials, condemning them as a sham even before they even began. The organization called for an immediate end to what it described as endless, bizarre attempts to deprive citizens of their right to peaceful protests, and the right group also urged Nigerian government to release all those detained during the protests, emphasizing that their rights to personal assembly should be protected rather than criminalized. Amnesty International had criticized the government's failure to address the violent crackdown on protesters in various regions, where dozens were killed and many others subjected to severe violations by security forces. The organization urged the Nigerian government to uphold the rule of law and focus on addressing the country's pressing issues such as insecurity, corruption, and widespread poverty. Moving to some business news. Rising inflation rates will force Nigerian households to spend the largest amounts of their earnings on food in the next 6 months, a recent survey by the Central Bank of Nigeria has shown. This is as the most recent report by the National Bureau of Statistics puts the inflation rate at 33.40% and food inflation over 40%. According to the Central Bank of Nigeria report, the poll was conducted from July the 22nd to 26, 2024, with a response rate of 99.7%, with each sample size drawn from the NBS master sample list of 1,665 households in the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory. The report's Household Expectation Survey published on its website, CBN said that many Nigerians intend to cut down on items that are not essential now in the next 3 and 6 months. They, however, plan to spend 54.9% of their income on food items in the next 6 months. On the flip, the respondents do not plan to spend a substantial amount of income on big-ticket items such as the purchase of a house, car, and household appliances. Also, Nigerians do not intend to spend on investments such as acquiring landed properties or other forms of investments. They equally do not plan on saving their incomes. Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation Limited has confirmed significant financial strain due to debt owed to the international petrol suppliers. The company had remained the sole importer of petrol into the country following the foreign exchange crisis that has resulted in resultant increase in price differentials between the landing cost and the retail cost and the retail price of the product. Recall that the media had earlier reported that the NNPCL is owing a backlog of appropriated of approximately $6 billion to fuel traders for imported petrol. The NNPCL in a statement said that this situation threatens the sustainability of fuel supply in Nigeria. Reports indicate that the National Oil Company is grappling with delayed payments that now exceed 130 days for longer than the standard 90 days. And despite this financial pressure, NNPCL's Chief Corporate Communications Officer Olufemi Shoneye in a statement said that the corporation remains committed to its role as a supplier of the last resort under the Petroleum Industry Act. According to him, the company is working closely with government agencies and stakeholders to ensure stable supply of petroleum products across the nation. And viewers, this is where we call it off on the Transition News. I am Raymond Ken Mbata. You can follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Atlantic TV Net, on Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, on Instagram, Atlantic TV Network. Peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for Society Watch coming up soon.